Hello, my name is Emil. Now, I'm not somebody that has been reading books my entire life as some other people have, but I have been enjoying reading books for about 10 years now. So, behind me are some of the books that I've read. They're not all mine, they're also partially my wife's, so those are the Korean books. Um, but I thought it would be nice to just share what I picked up from these books. And today, I just finished a classic, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. And I just wanted to go over some of the points that really stood out to me on some of the pages. And I think a lot of them are actually basic messages. They're not something you've never heard before or you've never thought about yourself. But it's always good to be reminded of these certain things. So you turn it into a habit. Hopefully there's going to be some of these points that are also meaningful to you. So let's just go over some of them. So the first one I want to point out is on page 23. So it says, if you have a worry problem, apply the magic formula. Okay? So first you want to ask yourself, what is the worst that can possibly happen? Second, prepare to accept if you have to. And three, calmly proceed to improve on the worst. So I know it's very easy to get very excited and emotional about things, but it's very interesting. So reading this book after having read some books on Buddhism and meditation, it makes much more sense, because your thoughts and emotions, you can see them as separate entities, well, not entities, but separate bodies, as you may. So the feelings and emotions you can often get from a problem or an issue will make you act rash and will influence your decisions based on your thoughts. So it's better to firstly calmly assess them and then think of, okay, so what is the worst that's going to happen, and then what is the best thing that I can do? Okay, and then just work from there, because in life you're going to have setbacks. It's just the way it is. So yeah, it's calmly assessing, and I like that point a lot. So the next point I liked was on page 39, and it says, whenever faced with worries or problems, apply the following 3 steps. So, get the facts, analyze the facts, and arrive and act on a decision. Or you can phrase it as, what am I worried about, and what can I do about it? So, again, immediately I have to think about another book that I recently read. It's called Factfulness by... was this? Yes, Hans Rosling. I hope I pronounced that right. And it's astounding how much peace of mind you can get from just thinking about facts instead of opinions. And especially with social media, everybody has an opinion, everybody has a thought, so it's very easy to get caught up in them. But when you actually start analyzing the facts, it's very calming. So I like this point a lot, and you can apply it to basically anything in your life. So it really gives you a lot of peace of mind. Recently I've also started investing a bit more with more of my savings in the stock market. And really applying factfulness and facts there will help you and save you a lot of troubles, heartaches, and stomach pains. So yes, that's definitely a good one to keep in mind. Another thing I really liked, it's just a little rhyme, but on page 88, for every ailment under the sun, there's a remedy or there's none. If there be one, try to find it. If there be none, never mind it. So again, it's a little bit of the same, but slightly different. If there's something that you can work on, do it. If there's nothing, don't fret about it. Don't lose hair over it, right? You just move past, because there's nothing you can do about it. You have to accept it sometimes. So you kind of want to put a stop loss on your worries, okay? Another thing I really liked, this is also very true actually. So on page 127, he says, think and act cheerfully and you will feel cheerful. So I know this has its limitations, but I think one of the first books that got me into reading was Anthony, I forgot his last name, but it was called The Power Within, yes. And he explained that even when you process your thoughts, the words that you use and the words that you use to express yourself will actually influence how you feel. And that was something I never thought about before, but it's really true. And if you've never experienced this, I urge you to try, because it really helps you. And it's going to be very difficult at first, but the more you practice, the better you get at it, and the better you will start get at controlling your emotions and thus also your actions and decisions. So it's very powerful, just what words can do for you. Yeah. Let's see, I have some other very small things. I'll just mention them to you. So on page 137, never waste a minute thinking about people you don't like. We know, right? Everybody knows, but how often do you still do it? Somebody at work, a colleague maybe even your spouse. They said something, they did something you didn't like. It gets under your skin so easily, but just try not to think about it, because most of the times it's not worth it. Maybe with your spouse it is, but with most other cases it's probably not. Again, on page 152, count your blessings, not your troubles. This is also very true. For me personally, I am someone that likes to collect things. I am definitely someone that also likes to purchase things. I enjoy things. But it's very easy to get caught up with what's next, instead of what do I already have. And I know we usually only realize this when something is about to happen or you're in some kind of crisis, but really try to consider what you already have. Look around, search for old things, and just really pay attention to what you already have, and you'll be astounded by what you actually already have and how happy it can make you feel, and how content you are with, how content you can be with what you already have. Also on page 160 he says, let's not imitate others. Let's find ourselves and be ourselves. Now, let's not imitate others. Everybody tells you that. Your parents tell you that. Your school tells you that. Everybody says that. But I like the second part. Let's find ourselves and be ourselves. If you think about it, how many people go through life, and especially the first 20 years of your life, really trying to consider who you are, what you like, how you formulate your opinions, then only to copy others? That's just so much. That's just a lot of wasted effort and time, and you're just going to end up being confused. And of course you don't want to be somebody that totally ignores what other people, how you react to other people, but stay true to yourself, and that most of the time that will lead to a more happier life. Okay, I like this one as well, because again, personally I try to get better myself as well, but on page 173, trying to think every day how you can please someone. Such a small gesture, but remember, try to think of the last time you brought a smile upon a stranger's face with a very random or small act. You can probably remember it very vividly. Whereas the last time you tried to do something for your personal gain, it will probably not have had the same impact. So trying to wake up every day and trying to consider how you can do something for maybe someone you know or someone you don't know will give you a very fulfilling life. And yes, I know there's this argument of people that say, oh, so in the end you're basically doing it for yourself. I don't know, I think it's the intention that counts. So this is also, now we're going a bit more to the philosophical side of things. So is it about the intention or the result? I'm someone that finds the intention very important. So if you perform something with the intention of bringing joy or happiness to somebody else, and the result is that you also end up being happy, I think that's a positive side effect. And I don't think that was the intention in the first place. So, but I mean, that's a bit on the side, it's a side note, but definitely, what can you do for somebody today? And then, yes, I mentioned that. Now, this goes a little bit onto the same point, but on page 185 he says, forget yourself by becoming interested in others. It's a little bit similar, like it's what a lot of people say is a remedy to depressions, right? In order to avoid being depressed, like get busy and things. But really, in order to, I think, stop thinking about your own worries, yeah, how can you help somebody else? How can you make somebody else feel better? And I'm not saying it's going to magically make your problems and issues disappear, but you'll probably feel a lot better. And if there's something you can't influence, that's your own issue anyway, then you might as well feel better about your situation. So yeah, you can try that out. Now, oh yes, okay, let's see, there's some other good things later on in the book. Relaxation is also very important, ever since it is Freud. Yes, this is also very true. So on page 245, ever since the days of Freud, we have known that a patient can find relief from his or her inner anxieties if he or she can just talk. Just talk. Now, it's very interesting to talk about this right now because we are still in the pandemic and it's been happening since last year. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people being confined to their apartments or to like wherever they live, I'm pretty sure maybe for a lot of them worries and anxieties have gone up, because even if you don't like small talk or chit chat, having the opportunity to interact with others on a daily basis is a blessing, really. So of course it's also nice to have your own downtime, but if you never have the opportunity to talk to somebody, you might get some pent up worries and anxieties. So in general, if there's something wrong, spill it out, because very often when you try to phrase something, you start thinking about it yourself more instead of just feeling, and then most often you will also get a bit more rational. So it helps you a lot by just talking things over. And this is so fun because, well, I don't know, it's fun, but whenever my wife, for example, if she had an issue or a problem at work, and then she starts talking about it, and then I'm the type of person that immediately starts to think in solutions. Oh, so what can we do about this? But that's not what she wants. She would literally say, that's not what I need right now. I just want you to listen to me. And then she would actually feel better. So it's so true that if people just have the opportunity to talk and be heard, then you will feel a lot better. So, I mean, there's the saying, right? Speech is silver, silence is gold. So yes, I think it's also somewhat related. Okay. Yes. Another very true thing is on page 278. So, how do I know this thing I am worrying about will really come to pass? And I want to combine that, what it says on page 279, with read history, trying to get the viewpoint of 10,000s of years and see how trivial your troubles really are. And this is very true. We can get so caught up in the moment, in the minute. I mean, let's take another comparison to investing, for example. You have all these day traders that look up minute charts, but if you just zoom out a bit and take a larger viewpoint, first of all, how sure are you that something is really going to happen? Okay, but then now let's take about a scenario where it has already happened. Okay, so let's take a step back and look over a longer period of time. Let's think about 10 years, 20 years. Will it really be that impactful to you? And even if it is really impactful, do you think you're still going to feel like this in the future? So it will often help you to really downplay a little bit how you feel at the moment and how much you worry about something. So this is very useful. And in general, history is not history. It's not finished. I love reading about history because you can learn so much. By reading history, you get a sense of what might occur in the future. It's all connected. It's all a flow. So there's a lot of really good history books. One of them that I really like to recommend is, for example, Homo Sapiens by Yuval Harari. I really enjoyed reading that one. That was very fun. So yes, definitely read up on some history as well. So these were some points in the book that I really liked. Again, I also read How to Win Friends and Influence People, or it's the other way around, by Dale Carnegie. But I really like the simplicity of his books, and it's so interesting because he wrote these books years and years back. Let's see, this one was originally published in 1944. Okay, so we're talking about almost 70 years ago. But the lessons are so fundamental that they still are very, if not even more valid today, because we live in a world where everything is so snap, everything is on to the next. I know people that have to watch TV with their mobile phone and a laptop on their lap because they just get so distracted, and their attention span is just very short. So sometimes it's also nice to read these older books with really good fundamental lessons. So I hope you enjoyed this. You know, we can talk about it in the comment section if you're interested about that. And yes, again, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be uploading more book reviews just to share with what I thought about the books, the key points that I took away from it. So thank you very much for your time. Bye bye.